Rather dark again this morning because it's heavily overcast. I mean, it's pretty much sunrise now, actually, but you'd hardly know it by what it looks like. I wanted to try this guy again. This is the UMX ICON. I had him off the water on the weekend at the float fly. I've never been able to get him to take off the grass, but I was, I don't know, I've just been tinkering with him. See, there's a step there behind the wheel, so I put some tape over that to try and smooth that out. He had some plastic already behind it, but it was clear that that end was digging into the grass. And then I put some car polish all over the bottom of that. I don't know whether it'll help, to be honest. I was just flying my little J3 Cub on the floats, and that usually takes off fine, and even that I had trouble taking off today because the grass is very short and it's dry. It was an overcast, windy night, with the result there's almost no dew, so the grass is very dry unusually for the morning. It's usually wet. They've they've mowed this field opposite, and now they've gone round with the baler and baled it all up. I don't know what they're going to do with it. Use it for animal bedding? I don't know. It wasn't even like grass. It was like, I don't know what it was. I thought it was hog feed or something. I don't know what they're doing with it. Anyway, it's all in bales now. Let's see if we can get this guy to take off. There's a little bit of wind from the east, so we'll try pointing him towards the east, I guess.
Throttle cut off.
I don't know whether this is going to work at all, but you never know. Oh, go on.
High rate.
It's tricky. Get in there. See, the problem is, as soon as you put the power on, it pushes the nose down. Go on. Yes, we just managed to get him up there. It took a push. Ooh, he's hard to see. Wasn't hard to see the J3 Cub because the J3 Cub is yellow. But this guy's much harder to see in the white against the grey clouds. That's the first time I've ever managed to get this guy to take off from the grass. So it's something of an achievement. Not a great achievement, but there you go. So I took him off from the water on the weekend, but that's the first time I've ever got him to take off from the grass, because of course he won't take off with his tiny little wheels because they're just going to bind in the grass, and I've never got him to move on the grass before because of the
time remaining 6 minutes.
Well, that was ugly. That was not a well executed maneuver. I felt a raindrop. They didn't predict any rain, but I definitely felt a raindrop there. No, they didn't. They didn't predict any rain. They said like 20% chance, and usually when they say, it was a bit better. Usually when they say 20% chance of rain, it means very little bleeding chance at all. It's most unlikely there's going to be any rain. But I definitely felt a raindrop there. And it is heavily overcast. Where are you going? This guy flies pretty well. Several people commented that, and because it's hard to tell, when you've not got a perspective and things, I think, some of the people who were watching it flying at the float fly thought it was the big icon until I brought it into land and they could see how small it was. I did have the bigger icon there as well. Wind, big gust of wind there. Well, not a massive gust, but quite a bit of a gust of wind. I'm feeling it more than the plane. I didn't notice the plane responding to it all that much, but I could feel it. It's a bit odd, the weather, not what I was expecting, to be honest. It's milder, it's warmer than it's been the last few mornings, 15-ish, something like that. He's quite maneuverable. Now whether this grass, as I say, even the UMX J3 Cub, which normally takes off the grass with absolutely no problem, I had to really throttle it up to get it moving today because the grass is sticky. They've just mowed it. It's hardly had a chance to grow since it was mowed, and then there's almost zero dew because of when it's overcast and windy, you don't get dew.
Time remaining 4 minutes.
I'm not sure about that, maybe. UMX ICON A5, AS3X, No safe, doesn't need it. Most of these UMX planes don't. I think about the only UMX plane I've got that has safe is that Cessna. And he honestly kind of needs it because he's a bit iffy. I don't know whether that's why they put the safe on him, but safe is useful on him because he doesn't really fly all that terrifically, that UMX Cessna. He's a bit weird, with the result that I kind of appreciate having the safe to fall back on with him. He flies quite well in safe mode, but he's less than ideal as a flyer otherwise. He has some slightly odd characteristics, the UMX Cessna.
Time remaining, 3 minutes.
Definitely, it's a very nice looking plane, but it's definitely not my favorite UMX plane by any means. He was the only one I crashed at the float fly because I couldn't get him well, I couldn't steer him on the water. He was trailing the back of his fuselage in the water and weather vaning, and I couldn't get him to turn the way I wanted, and I tried to punch him off at an angle, and he went weird. I never got him under control. Now, I didn't have him in safe mode either. If I'd had him in safe mode, maybe I would have done better for the takeoff. I don't know. Anyway, he's repaired now. I've had him off the grass again since, and we'll try him off the water again. This guy went off the water very nicely. I was quite happy. He has the problem getting going on the grass, but that's because because the high line of thrust pushes the nose down on the grass. But you don't have that problem on the water, and he works fine, and he steers pretty.
Time remaining, 2 minutes.
He's getting a little windy now. He steers fairly well on the water. Yeah, it is getting quite windy. I don't know whether we've got a little bit of a storm or something going around, because it's definitely getting kind of windy now. I'm going to try and bring him in for a landing now. Not the best place to land him, but I haven't got the energy to be bothered to try and make him land closer, really. It's a little windy and whatever. He did skip rather when I landed him on the water, I believe, if I remember rightly. Although it's a bit hard to remember the distinction between this one and the big Icon. Yeah, well, you can't. No, actually, maybe this guy didn't skip. I think it was the big Icon that I skipped a bit. Oh, that was pretty good, eh? I was quite pleased with that. See, it's almost dry because there's hardly any dew today. It's maybe a little damp, but it's not got water dripping off it like it would have most days flying it off the morning grass. Well, so yes, putting some extra plastic covering over the front wheel cover and polishing the bottom with car polish did make this guy, did make this guy fly off the grass. You've got to be careful with this tail because, see that, the horizontal stabilizer is just held on, basically, when you buy it, by tape over those two plastic pieces, and then this is the control rod for the elevator. So if that tape comes loose, this elevator comes loose, and then, because that's moving, you've got no control over the elevator. If that moves up, it's like then you've got up elevator. It just messes. You've got no pitch control, basically, none. That happened to me shortly after I got it. Now I bought it used, so it wasn't new. Now I've reinforced that attachment, and I haven't had any problems again since, touch wood. But it's something you have to watch. It's only taped on when you get it, and if it comes loose, you're in real trouble, because you just don't have pitch control. It's not like you've got a little bit of wobble in your pitch control. You just have no pitch control when that thing comes loose. Anyway, there you go. UMX ICON A5 finally taking off the grass and landing on the grass. Well, I can always land on the grass, but now he's taking off the grass too.